Some people rock and some people roll. Some will make you giggle right down to your soul. She'll talk to the world and introduce them to you. And look at me now, I'm all Barbara and you. You gotta take a step inside the shoes of another. Get to know your neighbor, get to know one another. She'll talk to the world and introduce them to you. And look at me now, I'm on Barbara and you.
Good evening and welcome to the Barbara and You Show. If you watch with any regularity, you know I love tradition. And one of the finest traditions we have is bringing the International Veterans Chorus here to perform every year. And I am so grateful that they're here with us tonight with their leader, Fran Cooley. And they're going to go through quite a few songs. I have it really easy tonight, let me tell you, folks. And John Sheehan, who is a Marine, he's going to be the narrator to introduce each song before they go into it. But I'm introducing the first song, which you, of course, will all recognize. They are going to start with singing the national anthem for us. And then a little later, I'll be doing some interviews. So take it away, Fran.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight was the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the one bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our first song was composed by William Henry Fry, born in 1815, and is considered the most famous American composer and the father of the American opera. The song is This Is America. Discant is Chuck Funk, United States Army, and Joe Daigle, United States Navy.
This is America, America. This is America, America. This is America.
Our next song, sorry about that. Our next song is a pop ballad. It was first recorded by Louis Armstrong and released in 1967 as a single recording. What a Wonderful World.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The next song was written by Staff Sergeant Barry Sadler in honor of Green Beret James Gable Jr., the first native Hawaiian to die in the Vietnam War. It's called The Ballad of the Green Beret. Verses are sung by Bill Smith and Roland Beve, United States Air Force, Bob Kelly, United States Army, Cookie Mendelson, Joe Daigle, United States Navy.
Fighting soldiers from the sky, fearless men who jump and die, men who mean just what they say, the brave men of the Green Beret, silver wings upon their chest. These are men, America's best. 100 men will test today, but only 3 win the Green Beret. Trained to live off nature's land, trained in combat, hand to hand, men who fight by night and day. Courage came from the Green Beret, silver wings upon their chest. These are men, America's best. 100 men will test today, but only 3 win the Green Beret.
Our next selection is a melody of the United States military anthems. Soloist J.R. Higgins, United States Army, and narrated by John Sheehan, United States Marine Corps. United States Army.
Over hill, over dale, we will hit the dusty trail as those guitars go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, count and march around about as those guitars go rolling along. Then it's high, high, hee, in the field artillery. Shout out, pick up the drum and song. Wherever you go, you will always know that those guitars are rolling along.
United States Marine Corps.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we'll fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor free. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine.
United States Navy.
Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. To our last ride ashore, bring to the foe. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
United States Air Force.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Here they come, soon to meet our thunder. Have a boy, give it a gun. Down we dive, telling the flames from under. Off the wild, down to the roar. We hail, look around and say, hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
United States Coast Guard.
From north and south and east and west, the Coast Guard's in the fight. Destroying subs and landing troops, the Axis feels our might. For we are the first invaders on every fighting field. Unfold our shore, land and start to find the Coast Guard shield.
United States Merchant Marines.
Heave-ho, my lads, heave-ho. It's a long, long way to go. It's a long, long pull with your hatches full. Braving the winds, braving the seas, fighting the treacherous foe. Heave-ho, my lads, heave-ho. Let the seas roll high or low. We can cross any ocean, sail any river. Give us the goods and we'll deliver. Damn the submarines, we're the men of the merchant marine.
Give us the oil, give us the gas, give us the shells, give us the guns. We're the ones who see them through. Give us the tanks, give us the planes, give us the parts, give us the ships, give us the
half of our show. Stick with us, it gets better. You gentlemen have a little break, and I'm going to ask Fran Cooley, George Schroeder, and Cookie Melanson to come over here and join me, and we're going to do a little interview with them. And many of the people in our area realize that this chorus was started, Fran will probably know how many years ago, but Donna Allard actually started the chorus. And I don't think anybody realized how successful and long-lasting it would be. So anyway, I need you three to just make your way over here. We'll get you mic'd and everything. But anyway, it's just been a huge success. They've performed in many, many locations. And are you George or Cookie? Cookie, you're right here. If I put you in order, see, that Fran, you're on the end, then I won't get mixed up. And we'll get you mic'd and we'll get you on camera. But we do thank Don Allard for starting the group. And then when it came time for Donna to retire, Fran Cooley very generously stepped to the forefront and said, I will take over here. And I just enjoy their music so much. And actually, a few years ago, they used to be part of our Christmas musical, but they needed I decided they needed their whole hour. So we dedicate this hour just for the Veterans Chorus. And next week will be our annual Christmas musical. And filled with all the people you expect from year to year, as well as many members of my family. I love doing that. And we always try to entertain you here at FATV, and I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. And I do want to say to all of the veterans, we thank you so much for your service to our country. Okay, we're ready now. Fran, thank you for taking over and conducting. It would have been a shame to lose this talented group. So this is like your third year maybe conducting?
Yes, this is the end of this is actually my second, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, second,
coming up on you. Don't quit. We need you. But you sang with the group for several years before you took over the conducting.
Yes, I did.
And if I let you talk enough, people will realize you're not a New Englander.
No, I'm not. I'm from South Carolina.
And what brought you here, and how did you first hear about the chorus?
Well, we're a military family, as you know, pretty obvious. And so my husband was stationed at Hanscom, and this is his home area, Leominster, Quincy, that area he grew up. And so now we live in Westminster, which his family always had a home on the lake. And so this was his last assignment. We decided to settle in this area. And one day I saw in the paper, I read about the chorus. And that's how I learned about it. And so I came to check it out, and I've been a member ever since.
And what branch of the military were you in?
The Air Force.
Oh, like your husband.
Just like my husband, and I now have a daughter in the Air Force.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
That's great. And George, what's your story? What branch of the service were you in?
I'm in the Army.
Oh, that's right. It's not past. You're always part of the U.S. Army.
I was in the Army.
And
I'm from Texas.
Oh, well, we call this international. I don't know if we still have international members, but I know we have in the past.
We do have a flag of Texas, yes.
Oh, good. Okay. And what brought you to singing with the group?
Well, shortly before my term was up at Fort Devens, I met this beautiful girl from Fitchburg, and I went back to Texas and decided to come back to visit. And that was many years ago.
And she's been your wife, I presume.
Yes.
Not somebody you just walked away from. No. That love does strange things, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Brought me here too, but that's another story for another day. And Cookie Melanson, I have to ask you, what's your real name? It's not Cookie.
Norman.
Norman. And how long have you been called Cookie?
Ever since I came home on leave, I was walking down Mechanic Street in Leominster by St. Cecilia's Church. And across the street, they had a little taxi stand. And there was two of the CMAD boys that were there. And the youngest one, his name was Petal. He yelled across the street, "Hey, Cookie!" And ever since that day, I'm known as Cookie.
And I didn't even know there was a story when I asked you that question. Thank you. That was a great story. So it's quite a bit different from Norman.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So are you native to this area?
Yes, I
With
was.
we've got these two imports over here.
I was born and brought up in Leominster, and I married a girl from Fitchburg, and we lived back in Leominster. We built a home in Leominster on Stewart Avenue, and we've been married 76 years.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Well, I'm going on 92,
God bless you.
and my wife is 87.
That is unbelievable, and you don't look your age at all.
Well, thank you.
But that's one of the interesting things about this group, Fran, is it is a wide age range, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Our youngest is 44.
Oh, you have somebody that young?
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, there are different faces that have been here, and I don't know if they are still in the group or just couldn't make it tonight, but it's changed, and at the same time, it's stayed the same,
Yes,
if
yes.
that makes sense.
Yes, we have some people that move. We have people that pass away. We have people that their lives just get busy and too many things they have to balance. And then we have some people, and just for medical reasons, they're no longer able to attend. So we try to work with all kinds of handicaps and just make people feel comfortable.
And Fran, you have musical background, don't you?
Yes.
You don't just learn how to do that conducting overnight.
No.
Tell me about your studying music.
I graduated from college with a degree in music education, and instead of teaching, there weren't too many openings for teachers at the time, and I had an interest in the Air Force, so I decided to sign up. So I went off in the Air Force and a couple of years enlisted, and then I got my my commission. And so you have to have just a college degree. That was the main thing. So I got that and the letters of endorsement, from people in the Air Force that I worked for. And I came in and I went to officer school, got my commission, and I served over 16 and a half years. And I got out when my second child was born.
Wow.
And my husband and I were having trouble finding 2 assignments together. So I decided to take an early out option, which I'm still a part of today.
And you said your daughter's now in the service, but women in the service has changed a lot over the years, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Is it all for the better, I hope?
I guess so, yeah, I think so. My daughter is in Oklahoma City. She's flying on AWACS, and she's an air battle manager, the same thing that my husband and I did. So her nickname is Cub Cooley when she controls aircraft because of her parents, and because in training she actually did hit a bear cub on the way to work one morning. So for double reasons, when she controls aircraft, if they hear Cub Cooley, they know who it is.
Wait, there's a lot more stories than I expected here, folks. We can find out. All right, George, what are you hiding that you haven't told me yet? Have you had some embarrassing moments?
No, not really.
Not that you're willing to tell
But
me about.
I went to college in Atchison, Kansas, St. Benedict's, for several years. And then I enlisted into the Army, and they eventually sent me up here to Fort Devens. And we got married in 1959. So we've been married a while too, not as long as Cookie. But
Have you always enjoyed music and singing?
I have. I was in a chorus in high school, but I never could fit it in my program in college or elsewhere. But Donna kept after me for a while, and then finally I caved in, and she got me to agree to just come and watch. One time she said, just come and watch. And I've been here ever since. And I enjoy the group. It's quite interesting because in the Army, you have people from all over and all different kinds of personalities. And you get the same thing with this group. And I like it very much.
Yeah. And Cookie, I don't think I let you tell us what branch of the service you were in.
I was in Navy in the amphibious forces.
What does that mean?
I was on an LST where we could go right up to the shore and open up the bow doors, drop the ramp, and at times we had like 13 Sherman tanks in the tank deck and roll them right off into, and then on top side we had jeeps and trucks and stuff like that, and plus troops and stuff, so we kept busy.
Now, was that in World War II?
I was in World War II.
Because I think, you know, we hear the stories, we see the movies, but no one can really grasp what it was like for you.
Well, you know, I signed up when I was 17, and I got out when I was 19, and I wasn't old enough to go in the bar rooms.
Wow, but you were old enough to fight for your country.
And yeah, I spent about 28 months overseas, out in the Pacific, and went to China, Japan, and was on 3 major invasions.
And you're a retired gentleman now, I certainly hope.
Yeah, I spent 22 years as an assessor in Leominster.
Oh,
So I worked.
well, that's where I've heard your name.
So
They're still talking about you, Cookie.
I worked until I was 80, and when I reached 80, I retired, and I put in 22 years.
That is fabulous. And there aren't many people that stick with their job till they're 80.
I know.
That's really,
Well, I
really
enjoyed
amazing.
it. You know, it was a place to go to work. Nobody to bother you, really, as long as you went out and did your work. And, you know, I was happy. And it was close to home. Before that, I worked on mass revaluations all over New England. So I was gone a lot, you know. So I had a chance to come into Leominster, and I took it.
Well, we're glad you stayed around.
And then, like my co-partner here, I was asked to stop in to just see the group, you know, just sit there and listen. Well, you know, you walk in, you sit there and listen, and pretty soon they
They're
hand you a
singing.
book. This is your book. So I've been there for, I think, slightly over 4 years now.
with the chorus. Well, I know, Fran, we've got another half a program of music, but we're going to take a break here, and we're going to run some public service announcements and maybe a few FATV commercials. And then when we come back, we'll do a few more interviews, and then we'll have a lot more music. So don't go away.
Welcome to Inside Fitchburg. I'm your host, Alex Cardinale. Inside Fitchburg is pretty much a showcase of that work that folks are doing. A lot of conversation is really being steered in a really positive direction, and more is being found out, I feel, you know, now, which is really exciting stuff. Hey, we're back. I didn't have a microphone on. Live TV, everybody. I think you're one of the examples of what the city really needs, and that's, you know, young, energetic folks investing. You guys look great for 150. Do what you love and you don't work a day in your life. Inside the Actors Studio with James Lipton. If you haven't, James Lipton is he's an old guy with a beard. And what Fitchburg is a lot of really good people working toward a better future for the city.
Hello and welcome to FATV, Fitchburg Access Television. Each week we take pride in providing some of the best public access television programs in New England. From FATV live sporting events, city meetings, and school functions, to weekly shows such as Barbara and Youth, Inside and Discussing Fitchburg, Sports Weekly, Weekly Wellness, and Our City. Our dedicated staff of industry professionals and hard-working volunteers is here each week working behind the scenes, making it all happen. Besides on air, our programming is also shown live online, where you can see our shows in beautiful high definition. You can also search through our archive of past shows and watch anytime at your leisure. But did you know you can also be part of the action? Become a member of FATV, and you gain access to all the equipment, studio space, and classes that FATV has to offer. You can create your own show, volunteer for exciting live events in our studio, or all around the city in our high-quality mobile broadcast truck. The possibilities are endless. For a small fee, you can become an individual member. Or for a little more, you and a group of friends can become part of a rising trend in the future of television. From sports shows to news shows, civic events, and talk shows, you can be in the driver's seat by directing and even starring in your own production. Also, students are free. FATV staff can assist you by getting your new show up and running with professional industry standard equipment, TV studio time, and private editing suites. All you need are friends to help out, and before you know it, you will be on the air. So if you have a great idea for a TV show and want to share it with the world, stop by 175 Kimball Street, Fitchburg for a free tour of our facility. You can also contact us at 978-343-0834 or email us at info@fatv.org. Fitchburg Access Television, working together for a stronger community.
Welcome back. And we're having our special musical with the International Veterans Chorus. And I told their director, Fran Cooley, I wanted to meet a few of the singers and learn a little more about them. I don't know how she picked the 5 gentlemen that I'm talking to, 3 now, we did 2 earlier. But nice to meet you and see you guys. I've seen you for quite a bit because I've come to a lot of your concerts. But left to right, we have Bob Gogan. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
And Bill Joy. And Chuck Hindorn, is that how?
Hydorn.
Hydorn, and welcome. And we enjoyed the first half. You had some great music for us. Bob, we'll start with you on, tell me a little bit about your background and how you ended up as part of this chorus.
Well, I kind of by chance, I guess. I met a member of the chorus, and he talked me into coming and trying out, joining it. I'm not a joiner usually. I don't belong to any organizations.
Really? But you like to sing?
Yeah, I like to sing. I've always liked to sing. I have sung in church and the choir and so forth, things like that. I love singing. And I love the group I'm in.
But you're not a joiner, so how many years have you been in the group?
About 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. I like this group. I made an exception with this group. I don't belong to the VFW. I don't belong to any of those other things.
Well, that says a lot.
Not that I don't think they're good organizations,
right.
But I just.
But that says a lot for the group too. And I did notice, that many times I've been with you gentlemen, and even before the show, and that there's a special sort of camaraderie among the group.
There is. I loved being with the group.
And what branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Air Force from 1951 to 1954.
So we don't have any friction between the different branches. You're all good buddies.
Yeah, we tolerate each other. Nobody's perfect.
True. And Bill, how about yourself? What branch of the service were you in?
In the Air Force.
You were in the Air Force
between the years
also.
58 and 62. And now that I realize that even when we were in the 40s, now we're down at 25, I look around the room and I hear the guys talking, and I think I am the only peacetime veteran. I went in after Korea, and I was discharged in 62, and before Vietnam got heavy.
Well, I got to tell my director, we switched the order. We thought you were going to sit in the order I had your names down, so we just put Chuck's name over Bill Joy. This is Bill. So hopefully they're paying attention to me in the control room. But anyway, so you discovered, and you said the chorus at one time had 40 members, and now it's 25.
we were climbing beyond 42, 43 on our way to 50, and then some of the fellas passed away, and different years, guys backed off for different reasons.
Right,
but I love it. I'll tell you. I was at a house party 6 years ago, and Donna says to me, "Can you sing, Bill?" And I said, "No." And she says, "Are you a vet?" I says, "Yeah, I'm a vet. Come to the next practice." So I told my wife, "I'm not going to the practice." "Yeah, go to the first practice." And that was 6 years ago, and she told me at the time, "You'll get better. You'll get better like good wine." And that was 6 years ago.
Donna told you that, or your wife told you you'll get better?
Yeah.
They both encouraged you.
We're always looking for guys that are home from Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'll tell you, we're a great group. We're a great group. It's a fun night to practice when we practice. We're always pitching the guys that came home from Iraq and Afghanistan, give us a try. But young guys, they don't want to join us.
That may change. And as Fran said,
gotta be some guy, some girl out there that's back from the war.
That's right. You've had women in the group.
Yeah. When I first joined, there was a Marine girl, but along the way I think she got married.
And I don't know if any of you remember Bunty McDougall. She was a Scottish lady. Bunty was a member of the group.
Sure.
I know.
There you go.
Yeah, one time.
And I think every vet should give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see if you've convinced anybody out there.
It's a fun, if you're out there, veteran, think about it.
Well, it's nice to have something extracurricular, even though you're not a joiner, Bob, but it's nice to have a group that you're part of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chuck, how about you? What's your story?
Yes. Well, I was a U.S. Naval Air veteran. Was in 50 years ago, actually, and flying around in anti-submarine warfare aircraft. And I went to a concert at one point where Francis Wada was the conductor. Mm-hmm. And this very spry young woman was running around, and she asked me if are you a veteran? And I said, yeah. And she goes, can you sing? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, and that was Donna Allard, and so she got me in there. And that was about, I'm thinking 6 to perhaps 8 years ago. And I've been singing in church choirs and also with the Salisbury Singers of Worcester.
You're a serious singer then.
Yeah, I'm tenor filler is what I am. And my wife is an alto, so it's something we do both together.
So she sang with you at the Salisbury Singers as well?
Right. So she's...
wonderful.
It's something we always do. There's been always music in our family all through my life, and music is just a part of us.
Do you play any instruments?
I know about 7 chords on a guitar, and I bang on it now and again. But my repertoire stops at Simon and Garfunkel, so that's
there you go. Well, I think Fran and I figured it's probably been about 13 years since Donna started the group, and Donna had told me that her father was really her inspiration.
Yes, right.
And it gave him an outlet, something to do. He liked to sing, and it just sprung up from there. And of course, she was tricky getting people to, just come and listen. And next thing you know, you're part of the group, right?
Well, it's a great bunch of guys. There's a couple misfits, of course. When you get that many people who put their lives on their line for their country, it's a special camaraderie that happens.
That's true, and as I said earlier, only people who've been there understand what it's like, and that's true of any life situation.
Sure.
You guys don't know what it feels like to give birth, but talk to sit at a table full of women around.
I'm pretty sure it's close to combat.
it may be close to combat. And I know the rest of the chorus is going to come back in, and soon in a few minutes I'm going to let you gentlemen go back to it. But tell me a little bit about how often you practice, and how you end up getting quite a few bookings, and especially at the holiday season. Who wants to take that question?
Well, we practice on Thursday evenings. It's at the Leominster Veterans Association building, which is right on
Pond Street and
Pond Street.
Yeah.
Pond Street.
Weston Pond.
Right.
Yeah.
They're very gracious about letting us use their spot. Fran has done a yeoman's job at this. She really stepped in for Donna and took the bull by the horns, and really has done a wonderful job. And the gigs come trickling in now and again, here and there, and we've been all over the place singing. And it is an international veterans choir. We have Bill, who was in the Hungarian resistance,
Oh,
and we
that's
had
right.
and we had Francis Wada, who was in the Japanese Defense Force. So,
It's not a choir, it's a chorus.
It's a chorus, yes.
Excuse me.
I was told ahead of time to make sure I always called you a chorus.
Chorus,
What's
right.
the difference, Bob?
The difference, the choir belongs in church.
Oh,
Chorus can be anywhere, can be in church, can be anywhere.
okay.
I stand corrected.
That says it all.
Well,
Yeah.
I was in the Navy, so.
There you go.
So would you say that within the group you've built a lot of friendships?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We, we give and take back and forth. We don't mind joking around with each other.
Right.
But nobody gets mad at anybody. I like that.
That's a good thing.
That's a very good
thing.
thing, yeah.
Before I let you take your microphones off and go back to join the chorus, is there anything you wanted us to know about the group that you haven't had a chance to say yet?
Yes,
Yes, Bill, tell me.
because our leader is who she is, which, by the way, is great, aside from being an Air Force girl. We are going to Washington in the spring, and we are going to sing with the U.S. Air Force Band
Oh, that's wonderful.
on one of Trump's lawns.
Well, good luck to you and congratulations.
the
That's
spring.
quite an honor
In
to
the
be able to
spring.
go to.
I always thought
appear
we were
in
good enough for that to play
DC.
Radio
Absolutely.
City.
So, like I said, I'm going to let you go back and join your friends over there, and I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the songs. So, keep up the good work. Just take those microphones off and head over there. We'll get somebody to help you with them if you need it. I'm so glad that Fran planned this to have the narration and have John Sheehan telling us about the songs, because so often you get the attention of the singers, but it took a very talented person to write the songs and very sensitive lyrics. And so I like hearing, I've got my little cheat sheet here that tells about all the songs. And I believe the way they have it planned now, the rest of the program is going to be mostly Christmas music. And Fran's getting everybody warmed up over there. And let me remind you again that next week on the 12th will be my annual Christmas musical with a lot of our favorite friends and family here to help me out. The Jazz Depot will be here. The Sons of Blarney will be here. A lot of, I shouldn't have started naming because that means I have to remember, and I didn't bring my cheat sheet for that. But anyway, we are so appreciative of the Veterans Chorus, and I think it's great that they come and do actually a private concert for us here at the Barbara and You Show. And we're a very appreciative audience. I always feel bad for people who entertain here in the studio, though, because they don't get any applause. But that doesn't mean we don't appreciate you folks over there. Are we ready, Fran? All right, we will enjoy the rest of their music.
When I hear those jingle bells, ringing through the snow, a sound that fills the air everywhere and sends my heart aglow, then I know it's Christmas again. I'll feel the road. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. When I hear those jingle bells, ringing through the snow, the sound that fills the air everywhere and sets my heart aglow, and I know it's Christmas again. The season of love and cheer is a merry Christmas again. Our wonderful, magical, fantastical, very best time of year. It's the very best time of year.
Our next song has to do with the wonders of holiday seasons. Our arrangement of the next song is by Mary Donnelly and George Stidd. It's called Take Me Home for Christmas.
Once again, it's time for Christmas. There's a feeling all around, and it fills my heart with gladness, for I'll soon be homeward bound. Take me home for Christmas, back to friends and family. All the joy of Christmas will be waiting there for me. There's a candle in the window, shining bright for all to see, and the happy sounds of children singing round a Christmas tree. Take me home for Christmas, back to friends and family. All the joy of Christmas will be waiting there for me. I can't wait to celebrate with the friends I hold so dear. They'll be waiting there for me at this joyous time of year. All the memories of Christmas really stay in my heart, and I'll cherish them forever, even though we're apart. Take me home, Christmas, back to friends and family. All the joy of Christmas will be waiting there for me. Take me home, Christmas, that's the place I want to be. That's the only place for me. I'll be home, just wait and see.
This next song was written and composed during the heat wave in 1945 in California by Sammy Kahn and Jules Stein, hoping for cooler conditions. It later became a Christmas favorite. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Duet is Bill Smith, United States Air Force, and Joe Daigle, United States Navy.
The snowman in the yard is frozen hard. He's a sorry sight to see. If he had a brain, he'd complain. If he wishes he were me. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful. And a sunny little place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and my heart's upon the flopping. From the western way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. For the fire is slowly dying, and my dear is still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful. And there's no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. There's no signs of stopping, and my heart's upon the popping. But I'm going to down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. But the fire is slowly dying, and my dear is still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Good night.
Our next song is Rock Around the Christmas Tree. The words and the music are by Johnny Mark.
Rocking around the Christmas tree and the Christmas party on. Mistletoe hung where you can see every mouthful tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree and the Christmas party on. Maybe we'll dance some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing happy jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the good old-fashioned way. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Hester's party hop. Mistletoe up where you can see every mouthful tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Hester's fairies hop. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you're here. Voices singing, let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree and the happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the good old-fashioned way.
Fran, we only have time for one more. Can you skip to Love Every Piece on Earth?
Yes, we can.
That would be great. That would be a great way to end this program.
Perfect, thank you.
Our final song tonight was initially written and sung by the International Children's Choral in Salt Lake City, Utah. Let there be peace on earth.